Hey guys, it's Wednesday, but I'm Monday, and I'm a creature from the vlog, and creatures from the vlog, for some reason, are being really idiotic lately with posts, and I'm eternally sorry. Very, very sorry. Um, so, I don't really know where to start with things. My life's pretty, routine at this point, I think. I've been in classes for 2.5 weeks now. Um, and it's pretty tiring to speak Hebrew all the time, so I'm like constantly exhausted. And I don't know, I definitely haven't been feeling particularly confident in my language learning skills as of late. But people are really nice to me. I just like feel really stupid all the time, so it's not necessarily like a great feeling. Um, but my classes aren't so bad. I have Hebrew Sunday through Thursday, for an hour and a half a day, and then I have twice a week for an hour and a half. I have two other classes, and one of them is on Israeli society from an anthropological and sociological perspective, and another one is about Israeli film and media. So I think that they're both really interesting. The film and media one is hard for me to understand sometimes. And the like Israeli society one I really like, but I like the professor, but I don't like him like as a person, if that makes sense. So it's a little rough. And he also I think thinks that we don't understand him when we do, and he'll translate words to English that like we definitely know. So that's kind of frustrating. But I think part of it is that he might think we're like ignorant to what anthropology and sociology are, like as if we've never studied it before, but we're all from like America, where in college people study fruity shit like that. So I don't know. I don't really know. But what are you gonna do? I have done a couple of social things. I've been to a bar. I've had meals with Israelis. I went on a bike trip, which was really exciting, and it was kind of scary because it was really steep, but fun. And yesterday I went to Beer Vinashira, which in English is beer and we will sing. Basically, that's what happened. It was a really funny scene. It was hipster heaven, except there weren't really a lot of hipster looking people there, but I'm telling you, it's like optimal hipster party, I think. So it was outside of this house, this rundown house that students were living in. And there was a cutout window in the back of the house, and that's where they had all the drinks, and it was possible to just like drop some money and take drinks, and it was very free form. There was nobody at the gate, people just came right in, and the house was in a residential area. And the whole party took place outside, on the straw mats. You know those straw mats that kind of have a very Middle Eastern looking feel to them? That's how it was set up. There was a band set up on straw mats, and there were some couches, low to the ground couches, which is also kind of very Middle Eastern. But there were also normal house couches that were further back in the backyard, which I'm assuming are just there all the time, which is kind of awesome. And there were a ton of people, and at first people were just drinking and talking, and the band was playing. They project the songs onto a sheet that is made tied between a tree and a fence, and they projected the words onto that. And people drank, sort of were singing, just hanging out. There was hookah, and people were just passing around joints to everybody. I know people like sharing joints. I've seen it in the movies. I haven't really experienced it in my life, I guess, at parties. Maybe I'm not cool enough to be invited to parties like this in America. I don't know. But, like, it was as if I was watching a movie. It was so strange to me to have somebody I don't even know offer me weed and offer me hookah and offer me beer. Like, people are, I don't, bizarre. But really nice, and it was also just really fun to observe the situation. I felt very anthropological. I was looking at it thinking, what does this say about Israeli society? It was definitely my favorite party I've been to in Israel, for sure. And they do it every week, apparently. After some time, after people smoked and drank, then people started to get more into it, I guess, and people were really singing the songs and dancing, but they don't get like slutty, the girls here. Well, I'm sure they do, but they don't dance slutty like we do in America. They kind of dance like, yeah, I love this song. You know, much more like teeny bopper dancing in America. But it's cute, it's nice, it's more wholesome. I know the scene doesn't sound wholesome, but it was relatively wholesome if you think about it. If you think about, like, I didn't see people making out, I didn't see any sort of, like, bad behavior, like, just people hanging out. It was, unless weed's bad behavior. I don't know. It depends on your standards, I suppose. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But also the songs are relatively wholesome. They are all Israeli songs are very popular from the past, and they tend to be the kind of songs that kids like that they knew from when they were kids. So they're not like explicit in any way, shape, or form. So that's really nice. And the band played until midnight. They probably had to stop at midnight for noise reasons, I would assume, because this isn't a residential neighborhood. I also thought that was very strange. And but in the end, it was like really cool. A guy pulled out a guitar, and everybody just sat around him and sang. After the band had finished, obviously, and we talked to some people, Hannah and I. Hannah's Hebrew is a lot better than mine, so I like always want her to talk, but she doesn't. She's really shy, even though her Hebrew is really good. So we talked to some people, but not a ton. But people were really nice, and then we went and got pizza with our friend afterward, and that was cool. And then I returned to my room. Tomorrow I'm going on another trip to the desert. It's like a sunset trip. It sounds like fun, so I'm excited. And there's some sort of play that I'm going to this weekend. And I'm trying to sign up to go on a trip to sleep in the desert on Friday night for Shabbat, but I'm not sure if it's going to work out because I didn't get a confirmation email, and they said if you don't receive a confirmation email, you can't go. So who knows? And I think that sums up my life for now. Next week, you'll get to hear about my plans for my Passover break. Woot woot. I'm going to travel a little in Israel. I have some exciting things lined up. And I guess that's all for now. Bye-bye.